If you think you have seen enough of the devastating cases, this video might prove you wrong. Today we're going to look into the strange case of Crystal Rogers that will send shivers down your spine.
Crystal Rogers disappeared 5 years ago in Nelson County. Early on, investigators named a main suspect in the case, but they never made any arrests.
Stay tuned as we delve deeper into the investigation of her disappearance in Bardstown, Kentucky, striving to uncover the truth. Crystal Rogers lived in Bardstown, a small town in Nelson County, Kentucky. She was the daughter of Tommy Ballard, a well-known local figure in Bardstown. At the time of her departure, the mother of 5, who was 45 years old, was residing with her boyfriend, Houck, his kid, who was 2 years old, and her other 4 children she had from her ex-boyfriend. Things came under notice when Rogers' mother, Sherry Ballard, couldn't contact her daughter. She tried calling her several times, but she didn't pick any. Houck was the last person to see her. When her mother asked him where Rogers was, he said that she was on her phone playing games last night. The next morning, he woke up to find she had already left, and her vehicle was missing from the driveway. He thought she might have left for her cousin's place. Concerned about the unusual situation, her mother filed a missing report for Rogers. On July 5th, Crystal's 2007 Chevrolet Impala was found at mile marker 14 on the Bluegrass Parkway with a flat tire.
Her car was found abandoned along Bluegrass Parkway just 1 day after her disappearance 7 years ago.
Even though the keys were still in the ignition, the authorities found her handbag and smartphone inside the vehicle. During the initial phases of the investigation, Sherry Ballard mentioned that Crystal treated everyone with kindness. She even allowed her friend to stay with her because he had nowhere to go. She was that kind of person. Also, she was not that kind of a mother who would leave her 2-year kid behind. All these things provoked everyone's suspicion towards her boyfriend. The Ballard family voiced their opinion that Houck was connected to Rogers' disappearance in some way. In a statement made during an interview, Crystal's sister stated that Brooks has not once offered to search, help, or do anything for the family. On July 8th, the Nelson County Sheriff's Office conducted interviews with Houck. Approximately in the middle of the interview, Brooks' brother, Nick Houck, who was a member of the Bardstown Police Department, called him and cautioned him against speaking with the police.
I'm up here. I know that you didn't know. I'm up here in this interview with the Detective Snow.
Following Nick's appearance before a grand jury the following day, the authorities entertained the suspicion that he was implicated in the disappearance. It was at this time that Nick decided to quit assisting the sheriff's office, but after conferring with the Kentucky State Police, he consented to take a polygraph examination. After interacting with the FBI on July 20th, Nick agreed to undergo a polygraph examination. Chief McCubbin of the Bardstown Police Department was informed by the examiner that he had serious concerns regarding the results. On October 16, 2015, the Bardstown Police Department terminated Nick from his position and formally identified Brooks as a suspect in the investigation. The private investigator discovered a white Buick parked at the Houck property on the night that Rogers disappeared. This proved to be an important piece of evidence for the investigation. After Rogers had disappeared for a few weeks, Anna Whiteside, the grandmother of the Houck brothers, decided to sell her white pickup truck. The authorities handed the subpoena to the 82-year-old individual, ordering him to appear before a grand jury. The subpoena argues that the individual may have cleaned, used the vehicle for corpse disposal, and then sold it in an attempt to conceal evidence. The purpose would be to conceal the evidence. The Whiteside did not wish to provide testimony in front of the grand jury. Attorney Jason Floyd believes the car buyer's information and statement to the police were sufficient. Immediately after that, a judge decided to keep all future Whiteside cases confidential. In August 2016, the police conducted a DNA search at Whiteside and Nick Houck's residences. Another twist in the case came when Tommy Ballard, her 54-year-old father, was shot and killed on November 19, 2016, 16 months after Rogers disappeared.
Today marks 6 years since the father of missing Bardstown woman Crystal Rogers was killed. Tommy Ballard died after being shot on the family's land in Nelson County.
He had been hunting on his farm with his 12-year-old grandson Roger's oldest son. One shot struck him in the chest. The police ruled out suicide and found no evidence of misconduct on the grandson's part since Tommy never fired his gun. However, Tommy had been a crucial part in finding evidence of her daughter's unusual disappearance. In August of 2020, the FBI conducted the first search in Bardstown, followed by the second search in August of 2021. Houck's construction company built a large number of homes in the Woodlawn Springs neighborhood, which was the location of the second search a few months after Crystal Rogers went missing. Even though the Federal Bureau of Investigation (FBI) said on August 27, 2021, that they had discovered an item of interest in the concrete of one of the dwellings, they have not disclosed any details regarding the nature of the item that they detected. The Federal Bureau of Investigation (FBI) stated that they were aware that there were individuals in Bardstown who owned information on the case, and that it was time for those individuals to come forward with their knowledge. Despite multiple search operations and a prize of $100,000 for information leading to Rogers' disappearance, authorities have not found him. Ramsey Paniroa, the newly appointed sheriff of Nelson County for the year 2019, has demonstrated his dedication to solving the case. In an interview, Paniroa indicated that the agency has a solid awareness of Rogers' whereabouts and that his mission is to gather adequate information and proof to conduct an arrest. He also stated that the agency has a solid understanding of Rogers' whereabouts. In September 2023, a grand jury in Nelson County took Joseph Lawson, a 32-year-old resident, into custody. Authorities charged him with conspiring to commit murder and tampering with tangible evidence to carry out the crime.
Joseph Lawson, he's a 32-year-old Bardstown resident. He's now charged with conspiracy to commit murder and complicity to tampering with evidence in the Crystal Rogers case.
The family of Rogers has indicated that they were aware of the case before it became public. Despite the fact that the indictment did not name any victims, the murder dates correspond to the days she went missing. Houck, her ex-boyfriend, faced murder charges and appeared in Nelson Circuit Court on October 5, 2023.
The video showing the moment Houck, after 8 long years of waiting and agony, Bardstown and one family, they're now focused on Houck walking into jail.
Shane Young, the prosecutor, requested a bond of $10 million to be set. Houck's brother sold a rifle under a fictitious name, which detectives discovered. This rifle may be the same as the handgun that was used to kill Tommy Ballard, who was Rogers' father. In December 2023, authorities took Stephen Lawson into custody and charged him with participating in a murder conspiracy.
Police have made a third arrest in the case. The Nelson County grand jury indicting Steve Lawson on 2 charges: conspiracy to commit murder and tampering with physical evidence.
In the end, Crystal Rogers' disappearance is still being investigated. This study aims to clarify some difficult situations and raise public awareness of justice. Please like, share, and subscribe for updates on this and other intriguing problems. Enjoy your stay and remain curious until we talk again. Thanks for watching.